Irene is a 12-year-old elementary school student who has written... Do you have your other book? Another slight commercial. She has a new book just out called Movie Madness. And if you're a horse enthusiast, you'll love this book. I'd like to introduce Irene as she has written an article which is one of the stories in the Fairfax County Stories.
I'm Irene Martinko, and I wrote the ghost story, The Ghost of Keene Middle School. I really had the idea for this in 4th grade when we had this project at school, and it was called Market Day, and we had to make a product and sell it for fake money. And I decided I wanted to write something that had a connection to the school and then sell it. I thought it would just be a little short story, and that would be the end of it. So I did some research online and in books and everywhere, and I discovered this story of what the Keene Mill was like, the murder at the mill, and what it really all had, like what our school was named after and what it was all about. And there were several different stories about it and a lot of different takes on it. So I don't really know the true story of the mill. I had to clean it up a lot because it was very gruesome, and I wanted to make it for 4th graders since that was my classmates were 4th grade. And well, the story of the murder at the mill is, well, it was a grist mill, and it started with James Keene, and it was handed down, and the last owner of the mill was William Keene, and that's where the story begins. It was right before the Civil War, and so the actual story that I didn't include in the book, was that the reason he had actually murdered Mr. Hall was because he had injured his hand and drank alcohol to reduce the pain. So he was drunk at the time. And
the devil's brew.
And Mr. Lewis Q. Hall came over to his house, and they started arguing over a woman, and he ended up stabbing Lewis Hall, and Mr. Hall lived for 2 days after that to tell the authorities that it was Mr. Keene, and he was arrested, of course, and they were going to hang him, but instead they put him in jail for 10 years. And then the Civil War came along, and he went to fight, but no more records were found of him, and he completely disappeared. There are a lot of different versions of people saying what happened to him, but no one really knows the truth of whatever happened to William Keene. We did find this cemetery, this tiny little place, and it had about 2 graves, I think, and one of them said Addison Keene, and so we included that. There's a picture of it in the book. And that's about it.